It's not what it is, but it's what's used. And when they were talking about defund the police, that was part of the issue, was that you got to get rid of indemnified um, qualified immunity, meaning, yes, police officers should have a layer of protection against frivolous lawsuits. But my question to the audience is, um, soldiers in a faraway country when the enemy's all the way around, they can't say they were afraid for their life if they shoot somebody unprovoked. So what does that mean? So soldiers have a higher standard of fire discipline than police officers, and I kicked down a couple of doors over there in Afghanistan and Iraq. I know people have kicked down some doors and not fired a shot. Now, um, so if we can do it, it can be done. However, what I'm finding out is that a lot of police departments don't want people who are too empathetic, meaning they don't want people who can feel what the people that they're serving. They want you kind of dumb. They don't want you from the. If you're in the military and you try to go to the police force, they don't want you, because they know that you'll look at people like as humans and not as combatants. And that's not what they want. They want, it's called serve and protect, but they're serving their overlords and protecting the overlords' properties. I'm not anti-police, but I am anti-brutality.
What about the fact that the former person that was in office wants them to have complete immunity, not just one?
That's ridiculous, but they'll figure out stuff. They'll here's DFG's opinion on that. It'll be called complete immunity, but they'll all always be at the discretion of those in charge, because immunity is not, just like the Second Amendment is not for everybody. Immunity is not for everybody. Because if I was Officer DFG and I went and shot a non-melanated person and said I was scared for my life, on a scale of 1 to 100, what number do you think that I would automatically be granted immunity?
0. Not even on the charts. Not even on the scale.
That's what I was gonna say. 0.
So knowing that, and Pearl, you live in Florida, you know they got that stand your ground law. But what ground are they standing?
Not the ground that they standing on.
Because there's cases on a lot of times where there was a lady who didn't even shoot the person. She shot in the air.
Yeah.
Property at that.
On her property, yeah, and she got arrested.
And convicted. And convicted. There was
while pregnant.
Yeah. And there was a guy in Tampa. He was an Air Force guy. He had gotten arrested for firing his weapon when he was being choked. And he didn't get this. And the guy said, yeah, I was choking him. But they didn't give him the stand your ground law. I wonder why. Might not understand that. But George Zimmerman got stand your law
for protection. That's why he didn't have the reflection for protection.
Yeah, that's more people. I'm trying to get 10,000. I'm at 1,500 on TikTok land. I put in at 23,000 in my live stream. Just click on the link on TikTok and 4,500 on Instagram. which I'm on all three live simultaneously. If you want to bless me, my my um my financials are in the scroll. You can support the content. I ask that if you want me to talk about anything, please come on and ask. And also, if you have a question in TikTok land or YouTube or Facebook, you can come on there too. But back to the conversation. One thing I've learned, and I make a difference. I make a differentiation. Just like there are N words and black people, there are white people and people who are white. Sounds the same, but there's a difference. Just like there's N words and black people, we know who N words are. We saw some on Friday. We don't have to go into detail on that. But white people are the types that say racism doesn't exist. I'm colorblind. Why can't we get together? You guys are always playing the victim card. You're make America great again. Foreigners stink, and foreigners are this and foreigners are that. And I've never seen any discrimination or any other type of negative action against, and to get over it. They say slavery. I've never owned a slave. Well, I've never been a Confederate, but you never been a Confederate either, but you still got the flag up.
Exactly.
I said, you're not a Yahtzee, but you still do the salute. You weren't born a Yahtzee. And I got to say that so I won't get demonetized.
Yeah.
So what is it is that people who are white want to understand what's going on, understand that they were part of the problem and are looking for solutions to talk to their people. Telling us that you're anti-racist does nothing. We don't care. You got to tell those other people. And how far are you willing to stick your neck out for people who don't look like you? We've been doing it for years and years and years. I mean, think about it. If it wasn't for our people, we would not have the rights we have today. Now, saying that, on paper we have every right that a non-black person has. We have every single right on paper. In practice, it's not like that. It's not. I mean, if someone wants to argue that with me, y'all can come on and debate that. But if I'm wrong, tell me why I'm wrong. That means y'all in YouTube land, TikTok land, Facebook land, Instagram land. Tell me if I'm wrong. I've been wrong in the past. I've definitely been wrong in the past, but a lot of times we don't. For example, the Second Amendment. Second Amendment didn't apply to us, and in some ways it still doesn't. Even in an open carry state, in your state, Florida, the young airman who was murdered by the police officer who was knocking on the wrong door.
Yeah, just recently, right?
Yeah, knocking on the wrong door. They seem to knock on a lot of wrong doors.
Mm-hmm.
And then wonder why people and in Florida you can carry anybody. If you're not a felon, you can carry openly.
Mm-hmm.
You can carry openly. So and on the body cam, you can clearly see the guy was not threatening. The weapon was pointed down in the door, and he didn't even give him a microsecond. And he pulled out the biscuit and gave him a dirt nap.
Okay.
But then he tried to say that he was threatened. But the body cam footage and pressure from the family they fired the guy, but they need to charge him. He needs to be charged.
They do. He does.
Okay, I got a guest on it, and this person and I have been going back and forth on Facebook for a couple of months. I invited him. I told him to pull up. His name is Angelsnupnup7. He has two. How you doing? Introduce yourself, please. And come on, Cam. Hello? Hello?
Hey.
Can you
hear me?
Go ahead.
I'm trying to get my camera. My camera won't come on.
All right. Until you can get it on, just introduce yourself, please.
Well, like you said, brother, my name is Talik Ibn Ra. I'm the host of a podcast that's been on social media since 2007. I call it the Realities Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. And basically, my premise is to bring reality to the Black revolutionary struggle, to bring reality to our community, because I truly feel as though that's the reason why we have not been successful, even though it's not really our fault. We have not been successful in the last over 100 years in this struggle, trying to gain some type of foothold in this country. It's not our fault, and we can't act upon what we don't know. I mean, when you're ignorant, you just don't know. You just don't know. But it's just like a child growing up. You start off not knowing things, but as we mature, we begin to learn and experience, and we should not be at 15 years old what we were at 5. So there's a lot of things here, and I understand that a lot of the mindset that we have in our community is outdated. It's nonsensical. It worked for those because they didn't know in 1920, 1930, 1865. This is 2024. And we have to look at those things that we have been taught and embrace those things that is good. Like one brother told me, we have to learn how to eat the meat and throw away the fat. And so we're here tonight on your invite because of a disagreement on a Kevin Samuels group. Now, personally, I don't talk about those things. Really, I really don't mess with. If you look at any of my videos, and I really don't talk about relationships and love and romance and all like that, because what's the sense of having love and romance when you are in an oppressive type situation? You know, it reminds me of watching cattle go down the road to the slaughterhouse. They don't know they're on their way to the slaughterhouse, but the cow just do what cows do. Pigs do what pigs do. Chickens do what chickens do. They have no idea that they're on their way to the slaughterhouse. And this is our mentality in this country. We just do what we do and whatever, and we really don't understand the situation that we're in, that we are on a truck going to the slaughterhouse. We've been in this truck going on 400 years, and pretty sooner or later you get to the slaughterhouse, and that's the end of the road for you. It does not have to be that way, because we can change things, but with the current mindset, we're not going to change anything. It's just a matter of time. And our current behavior toward each other, as I heard you express, Hugh, and your other guests here I agree. I enjoyed the conversation that you was having. I agree with the things that you have been saying on your podcast. And you know, brother, for us, when you really look at it, we probably will agree upon more than we disagree. The sad thing is we concentrate and get so...
I agree.
Yeah, but we concentrate on the things that we disagree upon more, and we get emotional and upset over the things that we disagree upon. I mean, that's life. We disagree with your mother. We disagree with father. We disagree with our brothers and sisters. That's just life. We disagree and have different opinions. But that don't mean I hate you. That don't mean I'm gonna get my pistol and blow your brains out because I had a disagreement with you. You know, I don't understand that type of behavior.
Hey, we can agree on that.
So,
no, we can definitely agree on that. And this is no to get on your point.
yes.
Only thing when I'm on you when we on Facebook and Pearl and Nap will just listen. He and I have been having exchanges. My only thing is with you is not what you say. Is that I try not to. I try to understand where you're coming from.
Yes.
My problem is that you respond to mostly everything with a meme.
Right.
And that's my main issue. And you called me a clown a couple of times, and I'm like, you know, hey, I've been calling anything but a child of God. But what I'm trying to do, and it's kind of what we're doing now, is having discourse.
Yes.
We can't if we're always going back and forth against each other. We can't have proper discourse. This is why I was saying pull up. I'm not afraid to talk about what I believe in, and I hear, and I've listened to a couple of your podcasts, and I've even commented on them.
Mm-hmm.
I've even commented on a couple of your podcasts. So I never say I study people who say to see if they say what they say they are.
Exactly.
Because I say what I know who I am, and I say what I say I am. Now, the only thing I'm going to refrain from. Let's just make an agreement here. We are not going to insult each other from now on.
Yes, sir.
Deal? Well, we may disagree. We may have differing opinions on different things, but I'm not. We're black men, and we're supposed to be able to sit together and reason.
Exactly. And
talk about those things. We agree on a lot of things. There are a lot of lost black people there. But if you ever heard what the 5%ers said, they say 85% of the world is deaf, dumb, and blind. Then you have 10% of the world, the global minority, who are the wicked seed or the grafted image, Yaqub's grafted image. Now, I'm not going to believe in all of that, but there's 5% that are the righteous, and that's true in almost every society. There are very few that are righteous and about trying to bring knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to the masses. Because some of us, and I say us because I'm melanated.
mm-hmm.
Some of us can see the truth every day, can hear the truth, but we won't acknowledge the truth. And that's why you see in all those groups, and my co-host can tell you, you see these in a lot of groups that you wonder what in the hell are people learning? What in the hell are people? What do they understand? Where do they get their information from? And that's what and that's kind of why I do this. I talk about various topics. I was just talking about, today just happened to be dealing with we started off talking about Hunter Biden and his 3 convictions, and why doesn't matter to us, because the last guy's acolytes always say that, well, the system is rigged. We've known that the system's been rigged against especially black men from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
is that, but the thing is, and it's not like we haven't tried. I gave an example. 60 years after the abolition of chattel slavery, slavery is not abolished. Out there, TikTok land, slavery is not abolished. Don't let them tell you any different. Look at the 13th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. It says slavery, people can't own people, but the state owns you. The state owns all of us. They just give us a measure of liberty and freedom, because those are two different things, a measure of liberty and freedom to think. And I think that's where you come in when I listen to a couple of yours. We think we're free, but we don't understand what freedom is. And if we did have freedom, true freedom, I don't think we know what we'd be able to do with it.
Right.
But also along those lines, and I was saying that the dominant society couldn't handle 1/4 of what black people have gone through. Asians couldn't handle 1/2 of what black people went through. The only people that can probably understand where we are the indigenous here, because although they weren't chattel slaves, they got all their stuff took. They got all their stuff took. You can't have justice on stolen land. Before I get back to you, Angel.
Yes.
What do you think about that? What do you think about that, Apple? Apple? Pearl?
I agree with you. Everything you said.
Okay. Angel, back to you.
Yes, sir.
So about your platform, what is it? And put your platform in my chat so people can go see you and talk to you. And like I said, he has very enlightening material on his page. And I told him that, but I don't think he believed me. But I'm just letting you know. You see, we're talking face to face, voice to voice. You see that? You see what I'm about. So that's all I'm asking. So as far as acknowledgement, what can we do as melanated people to? I'm not going to say unite, but just at least chase common interests.
Well, I want to first address, the Kevin Samuels platform where we went back and forth and clarify and explain a couple of things, like why I use memes. I use memes because that platform is very hostile, and I'm not going to waste my time trying to talk to somebody when I know that they are hostile. I just throw some memes and go about my business. Those folks, there are those, when I see that I can have a decent conversation, I will write back to them. But the majority of them that I have experienced, and I just recently decided to go and see what these people are talking about. Very hateful platform, very nasty, profane men that's there.
I agree.
I've never.
And there's a lot of digital blackface on there too.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of fake, hiding behind the avatar. There's a lot of fake folks, racists on there, and troublemakers and people of that nature. Of course, I understand that. So why would I want to talk to a channel, or avatar? First of all, they're not showing their face. I don't know who they are, and they already give me the vibe of hostility. Why would I waste my time when somebody don't want to? Whatever it is, it's just like I really don't debate religion, because people already know. If you know, there's no sense for me to talk to you. See, I would come to you, brother, and I would tell you I don't know. Anybody who listens to my videos, I often always say I don't know. I could be wrong. I say it all the time. I am not loyal to my own words. because I understand with new information, new understanding could change the conclusion. And if I'm a truth seeker, then it might hurt because I felt I was on the right path. But if I'm a truth seeker, that's where I want to go. I don't want to live a lie. That's why when you stand on the truth, you stand strong, because you stand upon reality, you stand upon facts. And you can't believe an opinion and your statistics and all this other garbage that you get, it don't make no difference. It won't stand against the truth. How can you bring me a statistic when it's outside of what I see with my very own eyes? I don't care what statistic that you get. When I'm living here and I'm seeing and watching and I have experience in life, what do I care about your statistics when what is around me is saying other than your statistic? See what I'm saying?
I can answer that.
Yeah.
And you have an excellent point. Some people use statistics to make their point.
Exactly.
I try to use statistics to understand that what I see may not align with the statistics, but it helps me give a wider perspective. And also, I don't put out the information. I might be talking to a person, but I'm not talking to that person, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Because sometimes you gotta, the idea for me is to get the information out there. Get the information out there. If one person understands what's going on and opens their eyes, that gets to where you want people to be, the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Look for stuff yourself. I put up what I've found and what I've seen that support my position. I do that. That's what I do. However, I always ask, what evidence do you have that refutes what I say? And if you can show me, like you said, a true learner learns that you can never be truly right all the time.
Exactly.
And understanding that once you get more information, the more information you have, the more you can apply that knowledge, and then comes at the end wisdom and understanding. So, like you said, we're looking at the same issue, but from different perspectives. But I'm really glad that you came on tonight. I mean I would like to have you on another time. We can talk on things. And
yes.
I'll let you do your thing because we got to be. See, this is how you build. With too many, like in most of those groups, there's too many teardowns.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm out there pushing the information. I can't make you learn, and if you don't want to learn, the day you stop learning is the day you start dying.
Yes. That's
so
right.
I'm not trying to, like I said, I might be saying something to you, but I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people around so that the information is out there. Because then one thing, and this is what you said, you kind of allude to. I bring you facts, or I bring you truth, so that you can't say you didn't know. But how are you going to get it out if you're not going to say it? That's my point.
Exactly. Now I think one of the main, well, I don't think, I know, I make a lot of folks, men, upset because they say I'm anti-man, all my posts is anti-man, you hate black men and all this nonsense. I'm a brother myself. Why would I hate men? That don't make any sense. However, we have to deal with a reality. We have to deal with the truth. And see, my position is you have to clean up your own house before you talk about black women's house, because our gender is screwed up. And if we are the leaders, if we are the teachers, if we are the providers, or we the ones leading the charge in this war, if we messed up, what you expect them to do? Maybe the reason why we messed up is because those who claim to be leaders, those who are the leaders, are doing a poor job leading, are incompetent, and you don't want to. You don't want to accept that. I know we really don't have leaders really like that, but how can you talk about? Yeah, how can you talk about? Yeah, how can you talk about women and you have not dealt with the man? And women don't want to hear you because they see you ain't dealt with yourself. You a clown. How you gonna tell me that I'm clowning and you a clown? You got to straighten up your own gender first. Deal with that. But you know, you're not going to mess with your own gender because you're scared to deal with another man. That's how these abusers are. You have these abusers that will whoop and beat. I've seen this in my lifetime. I've seen this myself. There are men who will beat up on a woman, a female real quick. But
won't say now a word to a man.
To a man.
I already know. My co-host can vouch for me. Yeah. That I steps to anyone. Yeah. I steps to anyone. I don't. You know. Right. I agree. We all make mistakes. We all grow. But leading, and I try to lead by example. Am I perfect? No. Nobody's perfect. But I lead, and the way I lead is that I show. I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I'm not doing. Exactly. I'm not going to say anything to you that I wouldn't say to myself. I'm not going to denigrate you unless I'm not willing to be denigrated. But I don't try to denigrate. I try to teach, coach, and mentor. And my co-host can tell you, and as well as some of these people here, people come to me when they have issues because I've shown and I've proven that I get results. Mm-hmm. Not always the best results, but the fact that you can be depended on to get things done, that's a mark of a leader, in my opinion.
Exactly. It's a huge mark. And you are a great man, and I will say that any time of the day, that you're a great leader or mentor, because you are that for my sons, as well as, all of our siblings. I mean, we're not the oldest, but even the oldest looks up to you for guidance, support, mentorship. So yeah, you're a real good stand-up guy.
For the most part, I'm happy to be
All right. All right.
But
I'm just speaking on the behalf that I know that I deal with. I don't deal with that other half.
Hey, but sometimes I ain't shy. We all got our ain't shy moments, and I acknowledge that and I move on. But we are running out of time tonight. But
okay.
Before we go, Angel, like I said, I want you back. You're
yes, sir.
A very intriguing person. You have anything to say to my people before we close out?
Well, I would hope, just like we come together tonight to break a little bread, now I see you in person and not an avatar. I know what you're about. I see you in person. So now my whole attitude has to change. I have no choice. I know I see the person. I would like for people to actually really get to know Angelsnupnup7. These men always talk about. See, these men always talk about women are so emotional, but they are the ones that are emotional, because before you condemn me, at least you should try to know me a little bit. You just don't like the certain things that I say, but you don't know why I say it.
Facts.
See? So, but maybe, and just like brother just said, he has an idea of who I and what I am. He's watched my videos, so he knows who I am. So he's not out there in the cloud. It's ignorant to talk about somebody that you really don't know. You just don't like what they say and start all this hoopla or whatever. But you can easily find Angelsnupnup7. I don't know how. I can't see how I can put my information in the chat room. But I'm easily found. I'm easily found on the internet.
You're on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube.
If you're on YouTube, just put it in my chat box, and it'll show up in my chat box. and I'll put it on my link.
Okay, I'll
That
do
way, 'cause I mean, like I said, we got to build each other up.
Yes, yeah.
Iron sharpens iron.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
Right. Just so I'm easily
All right.
found. Reality's Temple. That's my ministry. The Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry, or Angelsnupnup7. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube, of course, Facebook, and actually my older videos are on Daily Motion and Vimeo. All that. I've been on social media since 2007. 100 channels terminated on YouTube. Yeah, 100.
Hey, I'm about to get 3 of mine cut down too, because when you start speaking facts, people don't like it.
Exactly.
So
we start spitting it, you know, and really, it's an equal opportunity thing, because they white folks flag me, black folks, black women flag me. Matter of fact, the first time I ever got flagged was black women. Black women flagged me. So, but you can look me up. I appreciate your inviting me here. It was some other persons that said, yeah, come on, and I want to talk to you. No show, silence, you know. But yeah, we can keep doing this, brother.
No.
Yeah, we can keep doing this, because this is a good thing. Like I said, majority of the time we're gonna find out that we agree on things more than what we disagree upon, and then, like you said, brother, we build upon that what we can agree on, so that we can keep moving forward.
Exactly.
I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Like I said, I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on. Now I see that you're a man of your word. You got a fan.
Thank you.
Pearl, any words?
This was a great, interesting show today. Thank you for coming on.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And hanging out with us.
Always.
I enjoyed the conversation. I think I'm going to have to check you out on your page.
Thank you.
And Apple?
I feel the same way. It was very interesting and engaging, and I think I'm gonna check out your page as well, just to see what you're talking about, because I'm a little lost.
It's all right.
My first reaction is to defend my brother.
Yes.
You know.
Of course.
That's just. But I'm gonna give you a fair shot and check out your page, and I like my sibling said, we really appreciate you coming on and getting the perspective.
Thank you.
Exactly. So people out there in TikTok land, Instagram land, Facebook land, and YouTube land, this concludes our show for tonight. And you know what I'm going to say? Never make love by the garden gate. Though love is blind, the neighbors ain't. Y'all have a wonderful week, and look for us. Look for us on social media. Be good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Good night.
Good night.